WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower, and I spelled that incorrectly. Good job, Way. So I am having a little more fun with this item detector. One moment. Item detector rec craft. I'm having a little fun with my recursive crafter, and as you see, it is working quite fluidly. I programmed in an item detector, and once it finishes buffering all the items, we'll be able to see it start just throwing things every which way and hopefully making the 13 item detectors that we wish for. Now, just looking at all those pieces of paper just flying around everywhere, creating it, seeing all that, it's just so amazing. How could you not enjoy just watching this, just plugging in a bunch of things and watching as it works steadily through all the items that you are asking for? So I only really have the item detector as the most complex item that's in here. So, it's not the best, it's not the worst, but oh well. So what we should start working on is just a simple way to automatically feed this system in with all the sugarcane that is going to need. Not sugarcane, dagnabbit, with all the paper. So to start with that, I think it'd be a good idea to put where our items are going to come from. So I'm thinking the Sortron will need to connect to this thing, and we'll have to have our tubes going in the appropriate direction. So let's see, do we have any sort of mag tubes? Good. And we'll connect it quite simply like this. And our barrel, hey, did I say you could do this? No, I did not. And I am losing control of my character. I am losing control. Okay, so all that we're going to need to really do is just plug that in and put the barrel on top once we get the Sortron. And now we have an unreachable barrel of awesomeness. So this barrel is going to need to get the extra stuff that we're getting. That is very good of you, Way. Very exceptional explanatory skills. I just cannot believe it. Anyway, so unattuned tesseracts. We're going to need to make a few of those. So what we'll need is some hardened glass, if we have any hardened glass whatsoever in any parts of our system. We need 8 hardened glass. Hardened glass. Hello. And let me just find it real quick. You could say I had a hard time finding it. So, now that we have our tesseract frames, we can plug them into the liquid transposer and get our magma crucible on. Now, I don't think there's really any sort of energy left in this energy cell, at least not enough to write home with. So let's quickly tune this up to the appropriate amount and attach it as a backup energy cell, like so. We should get all the energy now. And with a bit more work, we'll be able to get all these tesseract frames tuned to make some item tesseracts. So let's just quickly make the servo mode pneumatic servo. Yeah, let's see. Item detector will need a pneumatic servo. So I'm actually creating the correct item for once. And tin and silver and tin. So tin, silver, tin. We got all that. And we got one of these, and after a bit more energy, man, these liquid transposers take a bit of time. We can get everything all created nice and dandily. Where is my silver? Gosh darn it. Over here! I believe, Way, what you were looking for was tin. Not silver. Tin. Get it through your dang head. Okay, so let's throw back the unneeded materials over there. And hey, I didn't say you could do that. There we go. So item tesseracts. Where are we going to put this? Well, it should be an easy enough thing to do. This is the input for our sugarcane. Right here. So we need to have this as a frequency sugar rush supply. Let's see, sugar rush, we'll set it to 1, add it as the frequency, and set it as the frequency. We'll have this as a receive only, and hopefully it'll be able to jump, well, push it in right away since, well, it's close enough. So, this one, we gotta figure out where. Can you stop doing that whenever you change rain states? So, we have to figure out where we want this. Currently, we really only need one stack of sugar canes, rather paper. One stack of paper should be all we need. So let's put this, attach it. Is that any way to attach it? No, we need to set a frequency first. And if we do, it should then, let's do that, should open up as a possible route. Now we have to check if the sugar cane, if this actually works. Then again, I have my misgivings and don't think that tubes, regular tubes rather, can connect this way. So we're probably going to need a relay, or that can work too. Just doesn't visibly connect. Okay, so it is working, it just doesn't show it working, if that makes any sense. So now that we got a steady stream of paper, we might as well break this so that we can have it go to the appropriate supply area when we need it to. So appropriate supply, after doing a bit of testing, I think I have enough pneumatic tubes as it is. So let's see, this is starting to jam up and putting it directly into our box right over here. Let's just break it. What could possibly go wrong? Flung. Just bring it up like so, and it doesn't really need to be fast, so we won't use mag tubes there. So here we go. Got more than enough paper, so let's just fling it all into place, and we'll put a little chest just for fun over there, just in case, you know. So this will be good for 64 stacks, so a stack of paper. And the reason we want our item tesseract before the fermenter is because eventually this system will stop, and really, we have a huge buffer system over there. And we really only run out of, not fermenter stuff, fertilizer before we actually reach the point where we're out of that. So let's make another sortron quickly. I'm going to need to make another sorting machine, etc. And then get things going with our future endeavors. Okay, what we're going to be working on in this episode is trying to continue our energy network in the IC2 variant. As you can see, some of our solar panels are not exactly being the most effective right now. We have our hybrid solar panel generating energy, but our advanced solar panels currently are in no position to do so. So that can technically easily be redone by just putting some wires to make sure that it's attached and yada yada yada. But I'm thinking that our energy storage right now anyways is a little laxing, so we should probably upgrade it. So not only energy storage, but energy generation. Just having our simple 4 or 5 or however many generators down there is not going to satisfy us for long enough. So let's go downstairs and check what we're going to need to do to be able to do anything, well, useful. So let's see. We have this lava pipeline that is going to need to be moved down eventually. What I'm thinking will be the easiest way to do this would be to just simply, what? Just turn this off? Yeah, turn the light off. Or shut off the cobblestone supply. Or just the energy supply so it can, no. Anyways, let's turn this off so that the lava will eventually peter out, and then we'll still have some solar energy to get everything, and eventually we'll be able to move this conduit downstairs, well, down 2 levels, so we don't have to worry about it, and then we can put in some proper lights there. So, energy storage. How are we going to store the massive amounts of energy that we are going to generate? Well, what I'm thinking would be the easiest method would be to make many MFSUs and line them up. So we have to have an input, so MFSUs will need to say be here, and the input line will be at the top. So since they're MFSUs, we won't have any sort of power generation that's above 512 EU per tick yet. And then we can just output an output just simply like that. And then wire out that output to any sort of device and transformer. So say this thing over here, it can use any sort of uh, voltage, for lack of a better term. Packet size, yes, it can use any sort of packet size. So let's check our MFSU recipe again because it's must have been 50 episodes since the last time. So it requires advanced circuits, that's easy. MFEs, thankfully we have enough diamonds and rubies to do that, and redstone. Advanced machine blocks, not too bad. The Laptron crystals. We are going to need to have lapis lazuli and some circuits. Now, of course, we can use any sort of circuits, though it's probably best if we continue with what we were using before. So I'm thinking aluminum and electrum. Electrum is using gold and silver, and unfortunately we don't have any sort of quick access up from here, so I think I'll just make a quick one without having any sort of planning. I am sorry. You will be missed. Okay, so what we're going to need is a bunch of copper and rubber, and maybe we can add it to our automatic crafting area. It might be a good idea, though I think it might be a waste as of right now. So we're going to need that, lots of redstone, and now that I think of it, it'd probably be best to make an automatic crafting, not an automatic crafting table. I am a little confused right now. Project table. Project table works very well, and I am surprised that I don't actually have a whole thing of project tables because, you know, Elram actually, when she's on the server, she has a bag full of project tables. Like stacks and stacks and stacks of them. It's a little unbelievable, actually. So there we go. Ooh, that's a nice rolling click thing to happen. Just being able to roll in and just, oh my gosh, it's going to every slot. So after we're a little scatterbrained, we can get our project table and move all of our crafting operations for industrial craft stuff to the industrial craft room. So put all of our redstone, rubber, and copper, and we can probably make a few plans to make this stuff go a bit easier. More easily, how about that? 2 plans. What are the most sought after plans? The most sought after ones will obviously be these 2. So this will be one of them, and we'll need to grab it and take all that, as well as, once we get it, our circuit. And aluminum. Do we have any aluminum currently made, or are we going to have to make it? We have aluminum dust and more aluminum dust, and either we have to smelt it, which is unlikely with Greg Tech. Nope. Or we're going to have to go downstairs and actually put it into our industrial blast furnace, which thankfully we have enough energy if and only if this thing is turned off, which is why we are upgrading our system. Otherwise, it's just going to be a pain in the ass. In the meantime, might as well check if I have any other stuff that I'll be able to use. More dust. Some zinc dust is probably not going to be beneficial to anything that we have, but we are going to need to use our lapis, which we have right here, and let me just do a quick inventory check. Okay, we had some aluminum, not too much, but it will be enough. So if we throw this in, we'll have our other plan ready to go. So we got some electronic circuits. We're going to need to create some more. So let's make as many copper cables as we can. That's simple enough. and as many electronic circuits as we can. We're going to need to make some more electrum, but that can be done later rather. But we are going to need some more circuits than this, but let's see. MFSU should be an easy thing to do. MFSU is an easy thing to do. Maybe that is a poster rhyme? I don't know. Let's go and get some stuff to centrifuge. We need to centrifuge some of our stuff to get some sticky resin because we are out. Let's see. Do we have... No, it's downstairs in the barrels, obviously. For those of you that don't know, propolis in a centrifuge, in the industrial craft centrifuge, not the naysayer centrifuges. Naysayer centrifuges? What are you talking about? Centrifuges that can only be used for naysayers, or centrifuges that you put naysayers in. There's so many options when it comes to naysayers. I'm on a horse. So what I'm actually talking about is throwing the propolis into our centrifuge, which I could have sworn we had here. The hell? Yeah, where is our centrifuge? Our extractor, sorry. Our extractor seems to be a little gone right now, but we need to, now let's just find the recipe, or rather use of the propolis, so that we'll at least have a better time at finding stuff. No, unless it was removed. No, we can centrifuge it to sticky resin, and let's just take this and put it into the furnace. That'll be much better. Because of the relatively slow process, I decided to go through the, well, relatively quick process and managed to make a centrifuge extractor. And I'm also currently, if we just mix our gold and silver stuff, we'll make some electrum, which we can just throw into our induction furnace, and hey ho, away we go. So centrifuge extractor will make all the rubber that we will need for now. But let's see, we are also going to need to make some gold because, well, gold is awesome. And then we'll take our gold and, we should hook that up to the auto transmutation system over there. And also, seeing as we have a tier 5 Enderman shard, it might be a good idea to hook that up eventually because, hey, yeah, it is very nice. So, let's just make a bunch of gold cables, and because we're like that, we'll just make a few more of these badasseries. I don't know, something heroic, I'm sure. So let's see. Let's just make a bit of this. There we go, 25. That'll do. It's not like we're gonna need it for anything else. No, sir. So let's throw that in there. Get this and throw our remaining one in here so we have a bit more room to work with. So we're also going to need to remove those temporarily because of this part, which if we do that, we'll have a bunch of energy crystals. Now there's no easy way to do this, unfortunately. We're going to have to pretty much suck it up, mi bucko, and make all of these manually. And how many MFEs are we really going to want? Let's see, we need to, let's go for the 24 mark of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. So 2 more sets of these will be all we need. And here we go. So we're going to also need to have 4 slots for this. So let's get rid of the excess redstone and etc. 3, 4. Good. So each and every single time we can just go like that and pull out the excess that we need to make sure everything goes according to plan. Also, a good thing to have would be the frames, not the frames, the machine blocks to make sure that we get all the items. And it is a bit excessive, I know, but oh well. What are you going to do? So let's see. There, and of course it's not going to be easy on us. Okay, now that we got the easy part done, we can focus on getting the Laptron crystals. They are, well, relatively okay, but they're going to require a smattering of electronic circuits. So let's do some quick calculations of all the electronic circuits that we're going to require for this. If we look at our MFSU, it's 12 per. So 13 electronic circuits per. So that's 26. Probably a bunch of people are already shouting at my 78. Horrible mental math, but oh well. So we are going to need 78 electronic circuits. So our aluminum, our aluminum. Okay, so how is that metal doing? We got at least a bit of it. And also we have the redstone, but do we have the glowstone for that? That is not enough glowstone for all the advanced circuits that we're going to need to create for this. So there must be some glowstone down here. There we go. So I'm just gonna time skip until we get enough rubber, and then I'll see you in a few. As if we're off by one. One measly circuit. Now that we know that we are horrible at judging the situation, we can... Let's see, is that... We need 76, right? We're off by 3. Okay, I'm close enough. So get that, and we can make our other circuit. So throw here, and we got that. So now that we got our mental faculties in check, we got our MFEs, and we can make our Laptron circuits. So there we go, and there we go. This one is going to require a little fun in calculating. I hope I calculated that circuit quantity correctly. It would... No, it's 78, dang it. Ah, well, I'll fix that in a bit. So much for off by 1 errors. I'm so horrible at computers, it's actually off by 2 errors. So, how many of these are we going to need? It'd probably be a good idea to calculate this beforehand, but let's see. 6 times 6, that's 36. Okay, that's easy enough to do. So 36, we are going to need to do them in batches of 6, so that means 4 more batches. Dang, that's a lot. Okay, making sure that we actually have enough, and who would have thought it, we'd actually do not. So, remaining rubber, check, grab some of this, check, throw this in, check, and we already had enough, check, check, check. I like saying check, okay? Check, please. So, just going to just go haywall with this. Haywall? AWOL. AWOL, haywall. I have no clues. And we're going to need to convert these quickly. Might as well convert all of these because I'm sure we're going to need a bulk of advanced circuits in the future. So just going like that, and we are good. Glowstone, redstone, lapis, that is all good, good, and good. Not quite in that order, but I try. So let's see, we are also going to need some more advanced machine blocks, which is why we got some more refined iron, and let's see the quantity of materials that we happen to have at the ready for all of our carbon plates, which is 0, zilch, nada, and nope, very far off base. So let's get this, and we'll need some more tin as well as some copper and tin because we're going to need to make some more bronze. So making some bronze is rather simple, relatively. Just have to do that and see what we need to... of course I'm using my only macerator over there. So I'll be right back. We're just going to need to make the coal into coal fibers, craft them up so that we can make the carbon plates, and then craft those up further so that we have all of the advanced alloys, etc. that we need. Okay, so be right back once again. Of course, I have to mix up the brass and bronze recipes. 3-to-1 copper tin compared to 3-to-1 tin copper. It makes a bit of a difference, especially when parsing out all of the stuff that you're going to need anyway. So, we got our advanced alloy stuff and advanced machine blocks and all of those desirables. And let's make it so that we have enough space for everything. We are missing some MFEs, imagine that. And do we have enough space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take these out since they are not necessary. So do I even have enough inventory space? And this is gonna be a very long drawn out process. I suppose I could program all of this stuff into the recursive crafter right now, but that is quite a bit of effort, and thus, there must be like a alt click? Nope, that would just be too convenient. So I'll work on these and then we'll be able to power it up and then perhaps do a little more wiring. Could have sworn I heard someone say wiring is for chumps in the background. Must be my imagination. So, how are we going to get this? Well, let's just place down our MFSUs in a nondescript manner and get everything going. So, just placing them like this should be okay with everything. So, like that, and we'll just have, hey, did I say you could do that? There we go. And shift click works? Yes, it does. Woohoo. Okay, so here's our MFSUs. This is good enough for 60,000 of, 60 million EU. Sorry, I'm getting a little currency discombobulated. So let's see. We are going to need to have an in and we're going to need to have an out. Obviously, this is going to be our output, and our input is obviously going to be from the top. So that is the easy part. Now the not so easy part is rewiring this monster so that we get everything correct. So as it is right now, this is feeding in our low voltage. So what we'll do is cut the lines at all the parts, really. So like that, and we'll put the line back here so that our transformer is still working, and it's kind of horrible when that happens. Okay, so those machines are still running, though all of our high-powered machines are currently, well, technically they're medium power since it's a medium voltage. Our medium voltage is not operational, so we're going to need to route that as one of the inputs. The inputs is probably going to need to cross down like that. Well, inputs for that energy and output of that. You know what I mean. So where are the main inputs of our energy? And let's take this down, and all of this is losing energy. I am well aware. In fact, all of them are turned off right now. So we'll have to keep that in mind while we're trying to figure out, since that will need low voltage. And let's use something not quite as destructive in our endeavor to get everything working, maybe? Yeah, that'll be good. If one thing explodes, let's just say it's a good thing that it's not a Greg Tech thing. Anyways, so our input will probably be best to, well, input to that. I am getting confused and confusing myself. Now that I think of it, it'd probably be a good idea to move and remove these thermal generators, and I think I'm gonna have to get them from the top and move them into a new arrangement so as we can get all of the goody energy into there. So this is going to need what? Each of these thermal generators is going to need an input and an output. That much is obvious, but how are we going to arrange it in a good manner? Let's see, if we have lava in the center, you can have an output like so. Let's remove that, and maybe not that. And if we put them in such a way like this, it'll all be outputting and we'll all be having a fun time of it. And we can just move all of these liquid conduits down, and it should be good. Let's see. Can our liquid conduits reach that far? Yeah, it should be enough for everything, and we won't have to worry about it too much since we can pillar it downwards at an easy enough whim, and then we can, well, kind of restart this if we have 2 extra liquid conduits, because then I'll be able to parse this back down. Let's see. We'll need them here, here, here. 7, 6, 5. Okay, so we have enough. I'm going to go run around like an idiot, taking all the liquid conduits and putting them below by 2 spaces, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, get away, get away, get away. Oh, there's something behind me? Yes, there is. Oh my gosh, that was not fun. This is why we need to have proper lighting here. Relying on lava, especially if it runs out like it did, well, artificially ran out, seeing as I'm the one who pulled the trigger, so to speak, it's a bit of an annoyance. Why am I running backwards with my... Why am I running backwards at all if I know something is going to jump out at me? Okay, so let's get this thermal generator here, and we're going to need to move this like so. Just a simple wire like that will give everything a good idea. Okay, yes. Why didn't I do that before? I have no clue. It just kind of escaped me. I kind of had a bullet in my brain or something. It is very odd seeing bullets do that. So let's pull the plug, so to speak, or rather pull the lever, and we should get a flood of light through our system. Now, is it enough? This should do for now. We'll need some proper lighting in the future because we will be changing it so that this is under the ground. Then again, we could use some glass and it'll be good. Let's get that thing out of the way first. I know, waste, I know. And finally, we'll need to have this here, attach it, and put one more so that we'll have room for more geothermal generators. So we'll finally get some power in all of these MFSUs, and it does look like it's evenly charging. So to put in our generator, we'll also need to put that there. Good. And that will be the output, and we don't have room for the output yet. Bye-bye, wires! Wahaha! Okay, enough dicking around, I can say. What the heck is with you? It's like bats coming out of the cul-de-sac. It's okay, that's why all the... It's not actually dark. I see what you did there. I'm just gonna kill you all and hope a creeper doesn't come down and get me from behind. That is going to be very unfortunate if that were to happen. So I guess we're gonna have to wait a bit before traveling down that hell highway. Hell highway, that really works. Maybe I should make a map called that. Anyways, now that we have this, all that we're going to need to do is hook everything up so that we'll have different power lines. Obviously, this is the high voltage power line. We're going to need to put a medium voltage there and a low voltage there. So what I'm thinking, if we open up this area, we can probably just easily enough take everything as is. Let's see if I can explain this well enough. This will be our one main line. It'll need to go down, and since it is, I think it's 40 EU per packet per getaway. It's going to basically, long story short, it's going to require 40 meters to be able to lose 1 EU. That's not too much of a bother, really. So this will be our medium voltage line, and we're going to need just medium voltage to go into here. It's going to be a lot of medium voltage, that's true, but it'll be good. So putting our MF or whatever, our transformer, so to speak, over there should get everything. Let's just shoot that bad boy. Bam! Of course it had to go for that one. Come on. Okay, so now that we actually... let's get that there. Blah! Okay. Yes, putting these over here. We'll temporarily put these inoperable. These will start storing energy, sure. And we'll take this as well so that we're not losing anything. Okay, put that there and there. So, we'll put our medium voltage transformer, because those are what it's called, right here. And our low voltage transformer is going to need to go here. Don't blow up. Okay, there we go. So we'll need to turn this around, and there we have medium voltage here, or rather low voltage, but we have medium voltage coming out of the wazoo here. And we'll just need to do a cutover, and now we have some energy. Should be having some energy coming out of these parts. Did it come out there first? Yes, it did. So energy should be coming out. I'm not sure how much, but let's just check to make sure by going to our matter fabricator. If it's still receiving energy, it means we are doing what we're intending to do, and we should be okay with it. It is receiving energy. I'm not sure how much energy it's actually receiving, if there's a maximum to the energy that it needs, but oh well. And this stuff is where it gets fun in the fact that we're going to need to get some cabling to go to these. So we'll need to make some more cables to wire everything up, but I think that'll be okay. I don't think that lava light level is exactly working. So the mission pretty much complete. We got a good converter. We have our energy and it is getting converted. We see that all of the energy currently is going to the MFSU, but there should be enough energy to be sent out to all the other parts. Now, this is going to be a fun tackling mission to get everything done, but I'm going to go uh, eventually light up that system, hopefully a bit better than what it's doing right now. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Something tells me I'm gonna need a few torches. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day. Ready, aim, well, reload.